And then the main event, what'd you see on the main event, B?
The Wonder Boy. I think that I can break it down very simply. I think in the first fight, Woodley was trying to knock Wonder Boy out and win. And I feel like, all due respect to Woodley, that he was in this fight trying not to lose. And he was very cautious. And of course I understand that. I mean, Woodley's a hell of a, yeah. So my feeling was that it's like when you have that belt, you know, it comes with a whole different set of problems and responsibilities where you don't want to lose it, where you're fighting.
The first fight was a draw.
Yes, it was.
So he didn't beat him.
But I feel like he was fighting uncharacteristically in a very cautious way. I'm talking about Woodley in this case. I understand it, but I don't know if that.
So who'd you have winning the fight?
Honestly, and again, I'm saying this with respect, I didn't care.
You didn't have anyone win.
So
you know what's fair? You had it a draw.
I had it a draw.
That's
for
fair.
The most part.
You know why? Because if you're going to score it with the 2017 rules, that's a draw. If you're scoring old school rules before these new ones, Wonder Boy won that fight. Because they're both at fault here. That fight was awful. Don't get me wrong. Right. And I know Rogan and Dominic Cruz like, I loved it. It's a battle of you never know what. Come on, guys. We've seen a lot of fights, and I know Robin Black's going to say the same thing. I was taking back and forth with him. He loved the fight. Entertainment's entertainment. I'm balls deep in it like they are. That was not a fun fight. It just wasn't. I know any second could end.
I agree.
Cut the bullshit. That fight fucking sucked. No guy wanted to take any risks.
Right. That's exactly right.
Wonder Boy, remember, switch his stance. Was he complete? So he started off traditional. This fight, he was southpaw the entire fight, basically. So that messes up Woodley's complete game plan. Like, he's staying this whole time. So Wonder Boy didn't engage. Woodley didn't engage. So it was like, you remember when you're a kid and you're playing Street Fighter and your mom's like, guys, dinner, and maybe you and your brother playing, and the fighters sit there like this, and they come back. That's exactly how that fight was. And so Wonder Boy didn't want to get taken down and was scared of the explosiveness of Woodley. Woodley was scared of the counter striking from Thompson, so he didn't engage. And so you get this fight. But in our sport and scoring it, so you go, okay, well, there's no shots landed. No guy's taking a chance. Who's moving forward? Who's controlling the octagon? That would be Wonder Boy. Based off that, he wins 3 rounds, right? So that 5th round, it's not a 10-8 round. Wonder Boy's winning the entire fight, winning the entire round.
Get teed off and got back up.
That's fine, but he got back up. Yes. Now, if he didn't get up in the bell rings, okay, it's almost a finish. I get it. Yeah. That's a 10-9 round in my book.
Yes.
So I had 3 rounds to Wonder Boy, not because he outclassed him or anything, because of octagon control in our scoring system. So Wonder Boy wins 3 rounds. Woodley won 2. Then I'm like, okay, even if it is a 10-8 round, then we got another draw. I was fine with another draw. Let's just chalk this up. These two should not be fighting.
And also because
clash of styles, they should not be fighting.
And those three rounds that Wonder Boy, the rounds were so close and non-active that again
you can only score it on that.
Right. So the way I looked at it,
I
looked at Woodley taking Wonder Boy down and controlling him for a little while, and then
that's the one he won though.
Right?
I gave him that.
And what I'm saying is that, but overall for me as a fan, who's not really that nuanced on, like, when the rounds are that close on who's going to win, which you are more of. Although Wonder Boy hit him in the head a couple times with a kick, more overall, as a fan, I go, took him down, controlled him, knocked him down, teed off on him. Yes, Wonder Boy stepped out to the side and he was okay, but for the most part, because of that action, and because he's the champion, I'm just going to give it to Woodley. You
can't do that, though, because you go off the body of work for 5 rounds. So if we're going off that, if the 5th round means more than the first round, what the fuck we doing? You have to score them like they're all the exact same.
What do you think, though? What do you think about that, even though it's not the rule?
This is the other problem. I fucking hate this when you really gotta beat the champ if you're gonna take that belt away. No. It's no different than any other fight.
It's always been that way, though. That's all I'm saying.
But that doesn't. I get, and everyone says that. But you can't. It's a fight. You judge a fight if it's the fucking first fight of the night or championship round. You judge all the fights the exact. I don't give a fuck what Woodley did in his past. I don't give a Wonder Boy did in his. I'm basing my judgment off this 25-minute fight right now. Right. I don't give a. Neither one's a winner. You went to a draw last time. Let me see. All right, what's going on here? Wonder Boy won 3 rounds. Woodley won 2.
Do you think
neither one won any fans in that fight? And to Woodley's point, where he's like, the UFC's racist, Dana this, bro. No. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking problem. Ferguson, Khabib pull out. You guys got to sell this fucking thing.
Yeah.
You did nothing.
Right.
You did absolutely nothing to your corner in the 5th round. Went, you have to get a finish. His corner goes, Din Thomas goes, you have to get a finish here to win this fight. His own corner goes, you have to get a finish to win this fight.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and, gets takedown, blasts him with that right hand, does work.
Right.
Until then, you did nothing.
Do you think...
That's where the criticism
But
comes
here's
from.
my question. Because it's a 25-minute fight, do you think that the last round, like if you could change rules, do you think the last round in a fight, the last 2 rounds in a 5-round fight, do you think they should have more weight than the first 3 rounds?
No, because let's go back to other sports. So should the first inning, if I score 8 runs, but in the 10th inning, or in the 9th inning, you score 4, but you got momentum back, should that count more?
Right.
Or in the Super Bowl, in the first quarter, Atlanta did work, but in the 4th quarter, Tom Brady
That's
did.
interesting. That's good.
No,
that makes sense.
they're all the same. 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes.
Whoever scores the most points racks up the
You
most
got
points.
to score it's like that's how it works. It's a body of work.
That makes sense.
That's our scoring system.
How do you guys judge fights just as a, say so you saw someone on the street fighting another guy? How do you judge the winner there? Do you kind of judge it overall?
Based off the eye view?
And no one like finishes anyone, but then say they got tired and stopped. Like the way I judge it is if I see someone getting destroyed and then it's about to end, then that's to me the winner.
You're saying via Conor, Nate Diaz. Remember that their last fight? Like if that fight would have went another round, Conor probably loses that.
Yeah, so that's how
So
I
you
judge a
think
real
Nate was
fight.
the winner?
In a real fight, yeah.
It's not a
That's
real fight.
kinda how it looked.
It's
That's
not a
kinda
real
like the
fight.
fights, though.
You know
I
what I'm saying? It's
know.
not a real fight. The real fight when he has his knees on the ground could fucking kick him in the face.
And plus, I do judge fights that way as like the way that UFC does and everything else. If I love a fighter, so back in the days, if I had
I
like
hear
a fan
you.
of a fighter,
I hear you.
dude, he won 3 out of 2.
I know.
But in a real like a macho man way, whatever, I see a fight as someone who's actually going to take the guy out. If you're in a real street fight,
but then let me ask you this, Chin.
Yeah.
So then, if it's a street fight and let's say Bryan's been in 50 fights more
Which
than
I
me,
have.
so he has scar tissue all over his face.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Bryan lands
Don't
6
get hit.
jabs on me. I land 1 and opens up a gash. Am I
Oh, no,
winning
not
the fight?
gash. I'm saying like,
But
we can all tell.
you're talking about eye test right now, street fighting.
No.
So in a street
Someone
fight,
gets jacked up.
let's say Bryan and I are in 8th grade. We in a fight, no one's around. I fucking sock Bryan in the eye. But then for the next 30 minutes, Bryan bully beats me down and embarrassingly gives me a wedgie. We go to school the next day. Fucking Bryan won that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Not just looks. I'm saying if I saw someone drop another dude wailing on him, and the other guy hits the guy in the face and he's bleeding all over the face, no, the guy that was wailing on him is the one that wins in my book.
Yeah.
It's tough for me because it's a sport. You know what I'm saying? It's tough for me. I see
Fighting
what you're
is
No, that's
saying.
why I said
Yeah.
outside of that.
No, I
you
hear
guys
you.
Look at
I hear it.
fights that way.
Again, in that fight, there was no winner.
I like how
No one won. If anything, if you're not going to give to Wonder Boy, if anything, I was like, oh, it's going to be another draw. I sure as fuck didn't have Woodley win that fight. And I love Woodley. I have no bad intention against Woodley.
Yeah.
I love Woodley.
He's just being
I think he's
honest.
actually a great champion. I think I think that whole weight class in trouble. N85. But.
as Michael Bisping said to GSP, I'm a fighter. You're an athlete. You're an athlete. Drunk as shit at the front. Did you see that? He just comes in drunk. I'm a fighter.
The most white shit talking of all time.
Of all time.
Oh my God. That's
Hey, well,
our business.
Look at this guy.
That's our business.
You're drunk. Who wins that fight? You've already broken that down. haven't you?
I haven't. I will, though. It's too early. They don't even have a date for it.
Another quick question. So if they both pulled the trigger, just from what you've seen from both of them, if they both pulled the trigger, who do you think would have taken it?
Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy?
He knocks Woodley out.
See, for whatever
Because
reason,
if Woodley gets super uber aggressive, that's fucking Holly Holm Ronda.
Something that Wonder Boy did in the Johnny Hendricks fight I saw was there was more kicking sort of down the line.
Different animal.
It's a different animal, but that
Way
back
slower.
kick, yeah.
Johnny Hendricks, he's kind of, he's on his last leg.
Right.
He can get away with that.
Sure.
Johnny likes to strike. Woodley, in the first fight, when Wonder Boy threw one kick, taken down. He's so explosive. He's in his prime right now.
Yeah.
You throw those kicks, it's game
Yeah.
over.
Even a front kick, like
You're-
just a
you're in
bang.
trouble.
Yeah.
He threw some calculated.
Wonder Boy, I'm sure knows all that. For me, watching it, I'm like,
No, his
if
game
you're
plan.
kicking, you're roundhouse kicking. I wonder if there'd be something like.
No, it's like my dad watched football. He goes, I don't know why they don't blitz. I'm like, because I get that. That's fun to see.
Yeah.
When you do that, they're just going to throw over the top and score a touchdown. They're waiting for it.
They're waiting for it. He's waiting for
It's
that.
fun. I get it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why a guy who has damn near 100, including amateur kickboxing matches, isn't kicking out. You don't think they know that?
Definitely a reason.
You think Bryan Callen watching with his buddies in the Boston bar knows something they don't?
Definitely a reason. That's what I was saying.
It's weird to me people don't recognize that.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't get why he's not getting down the front anymore.
Me, I was like this. I was like, at first I was like, front kick him right down the center or back kick him right down the center. And then I stopped and I went, as I'm watching this, I go, just kick him and keep him at a distance. And then I went, I think Wonder Boy probably has an idea. I'm sure that the camp probably knows there's a reason that's not happening right now.
He could have just been hesitant. He was worried you'd take down. And he said
or
that.
Or break your foot with a front.
Not break foot. It's not really that. But I mean, you don't think his dad, who owns one of the biggest fucking karate schools in the nation,
or he as well, who's been fighting since he was 5.
Both of them.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan listening, whenever you think like, I don't know why he's doing this.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's a reason.
Yeah.
There always is.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And that's what they both said. They go, look, I know it looks like one thing from there. When you're in there and you're fighting the one best counterpuncher in our division, and then conversely, if you're fighting a guy with that kind of explosive power, you're going to be hesitant.
Well, that's why I can't stand when people go, shouldn't leave it up to the judges. And Wonder Boy said that to him, like, oh, you poor thing. You're listening to all the fucking propaganda now.
What do you mean by that anyway? I mean, you're doing your best in there and you're dealing with a very dangerous opponent. One mistake.
They're the best in the world. It's very hard to get a guy of Woodley's caliber out of there.
Yes.
It's hard to get Wonder Boy out of there. He's never been finished. It's going to be very tough to get him out of there. It's going to be impossible to get Woodley out of there. Mm-hmm. This shit happens.
Who does Wonder Boy fight next?
I haven't even thought about it. I have no idea. The loser of Masvidal, Damian Maia. And then the winner of that goes on for the title shot.
Masvidal, Damian Maia. Very interesting.